Hello and welcome to Bargain and Subscription Gaming. My name is Rich. We're going to play a little more Avowed. Where I don't remember where I was putting the camera. Oh, not there. Probably here. We're going to report to the ambassador first, and then we're going to find the Watcher. This is that way to report the ambassador.
Hey, I had a dream about you. In my dream, you were surrounded by light, but it was shining from inside.
Fortunate. Compare our local herbs, the same ones imported from Adam, and my findings are accurate. Then everything that grows in the living lands is more potent. If the occurrence as well as poisons, of course, and the beginning ingredients grow in the deadliest parts of the jungle. So, maybe I should harvest a few seeds and pay someone to grow them in the Republic, just to see what happens. Or maybe I shouldn't contaminate the mainland until I understand what I'm dealing with. Wait. Letter from Fior Ms. Iverno. Lavinia. Emerald Stair is not the same without you. My animators are in desperate need of guidance. I understand why you left, but your talents are wasted on them nice vipers. When you've had enough healing with the body, come back and work on healing the soul. Is Ignacio Vidaro, governor of Fior Ms. She got better offers elsewhere. Like, it's not saying I'm stealing anything when I'm stealing things, so I don't know.
Godlike. Interested in saving a couple of lives?
Always.
So, you're that godlike, the Adiran envoy. You're the one who saves the ambassador from the strangle roots, right?
Perception. You clearly want something from me. What is it?
I'm just trying to help some friends of mine. They're Adirans, but they've had a string of bad luck. Is there any chance you could lend them a hand?
Vanguard Scott, this sounds like a setup.
I know this is strange, but they're in a rough situation and, well, to be honest, they helped me out a while back when I needed it. I'm just trying to return the favor.
Alright. What do you friends need help with?
Galarde. Lawfled and Gladwine came here about 8 years ago, long before the recent rush of adherents. They admitted to having a checkered past back home, but started a new life in Paradis. Back then, you'd struggle to find an adherent in the city. Now they're everywhere.
Emperor has made it living lands his priority.
That's all very well for His Highness, but it was trouble for my friends. Anyway, with all these adherents coming in, Lawfled and Gladwine started spotting old faces. And if they were spotting old faces, then it was only a matter of time before those faces started spotting them back. They're lying low in the shantytown for now, but they mean to leave for Thirdborn.
Adherents in the shantytown. I doubt they're getting a warm welcome. Most of the people there are Paradisans run out by Adir.
They're afraid to go out in public, and Gladwine, poor soul, he's gone blind from bad drink.
I'm not a healer.
You don't need to be. There are herbs in the wilds around Paradis that can restore Gladwine's sight. It's a little too dangerous for us ordinary folks, but for the Adiran envoy, for the hero who braved the strangle route, I'm sure it will be no problem.
Ending with flattery is a nice touch.
Agrasima.
Alright, let's see what I can do.
Many thanks, envoy. Oh, there is one more thing they need. Land deeds. They've already paid for them. There's a Rawatayan in the Pearl District, Mako, who was handling the paperwork.
Why hasn't he?
I don't know. That's the problem. Mako and I had a falling out a while back. It's best if someone else goes.
Alright, I'll talk to Mako.
Thank you, envoy. God bless you.
I think we're being set up.
You died?
Long as around conquering guilds serve the Emperor and Queens of Adam. It is we who are responsible for the creation and distribution of the maps throughout the Empire. While the direct travelers throughout the expanse, that is, Adam, guide ship captains on their voyage throughout Aurora. Or simply don't own the walls that Ursa cuts home, one can rest assured the Cartographic Guild is behind the creation of every one of these works are. For 2 centuries, since Noble Expedition Corps discovered these reach, we have worked and labored to keep all the Empire and their colonies supplied with accurate, high-quality maps. God's willing, we will continue to do so for centuries to come.
But you're here. Gods, am I glad to see you.
Look at there's books everywhere. And it is a country rich with custom, and they are known for the strictest adherence to them. Their customs run the gamut from grand celebrations like the Feast of Feasts to the mundane superstitions such as ways to avoid Svek addiction and Sveth addiction. This round will focus primarily on bigger celebrations as no one knows how to throw an extravagant party quite like in Adiran. The Feast of Feasts. The biggest and most important of all Adiran customs is the Feast of Feasts. The week-long celebration happens the first week of Fenestus, deep summer, and is dedicated to honoring the life of the first whatever. Each day of the week is devoted to the aspect of Farrakhanig's life, and there are very specific dishes to be served at each meal. The Feast of Feasts originally began as a festival celebrating the birth of Farrakhanig's first son, and soon became a yearly occurrence during the week of his birth. Currently, Adiran simply uses an excuse for a party about all the stops in an effort to outdo the previous year. Unless you wonder, as I did, which Farrakhanig is honored during the Feast of Feasts, always the current Farrakhanig. Great Farrakhanig is the first and only Farrakhanig. Sweet Treat, a special custom that arose at some point during the Feast of Feasts. The Sweet Treat started as a way to keep children occupied so parents could dine in peace. While it is still used for that today, so it has been added to it. Each treat is placed in a container, usually small metal boxes, and hidden somewhere on the property. After everything has been hidden, the children are sent out to find the treasure. Said now that hidden treasure treats represent Glenfathan artifacts, and the children are explorers bringing riches back to their new and rightful owners. Carnival of the Mask. When usual colonists for Adair traveled to the new land to follow the drywood in the name of the Farrakhanig, they encountered the Glenfathan. Oh my god, the words, people. The Carnival of the Mask celebrates this meeting. Originally, it was merely a formal reenactment as a play of the tensions between the Glenfathans and the Adair settlers, and it has since evolved to much more than that. Participants choose sides and come dressed as an elaborate outfit depicting which group they have decided to align themselves with, Adirans or Glenfathans. Everyone attends this masquerade ball, and this party replaces any semblance of play that was presented. Winter's End was never anything more than an excuse for celebration, and it hasn't changed in all the years it's existed in Adir. It takes place during the winter dusk and lasts all 3 days. People use this time to reflect on a year celebrating their lives and remember the dead, especially those who have passed in recent years. And just, oh my god. The Entered Empire, Part 1, Origin. Approximately 22,000 AI, a group of tribes called the People of the Deer unified into a new civilization called Adir Kingdom. The tribes are small and widespread over the land. It would be better for the continued existence to unify. The leaders of each tribe became advisors of the king, chosen by the group. Each advisor would be lord of his people, but each lord would answer to the Farrakhanig, first king. This decision was the Farrakhanig. Decision was exactly what was needed, and the Adoran king thrived, spreading across the land and established strong trade routes. Adirans became well known as fair, but shrewd businessmen while the country thrived. Internally, there was little strife. There was still the occasional skirmishes with neighboring kingdom of Kultlin. Not long after the kingdom was formed, the Adiran people began studying animancy, still largely unknown at the time. Animancy was an exciting, terrifying new realm in which Adiran scholars saw great potential. This potential came to bear fruit in 2260 AI, when a group of animals working together to transfer the soul of a recently divided man to another body, creating the first what would later become to be known as the Undead. The reaction to discovery was swift and decisive. Both the king of Adir and the Church of Wodica condemned this event. The study of practice animancy was outlawed. It would never be practiced openly on Adiran soil. The conflicts with Kulklin continued, escalating to a minor war in 2398 AI. Afterwards, a treaty was signed, and the king of Adir merged with Kulklin and formed the Adir Empire. When the politics and military strife were now settled, the Adir Empire would become an economic powerhouse, able to acquire, generate resources that are difficult to obtain in part of the world the Empire's trade routes became some of the most lucrative in the world. Contrary letter. Ambassador Higlar, I've maintained order of Paris for many years. I know this city. When there's a good leader and fair policy, there's peace. But you allowed steel corrupt to terrorize my people. The sewer to trust and fear. I suggest you tighten your Inquisitor's leash at the embassy. Knight might not carry your banners for long. Clavenger, Emond. All of those books over there. A couple more over here. Either your Empire, Part 2, Expanding Borders. 2621, Adiron explorers return from over the ocean telling tales of the ruins and treasure there, and expensive fields that were perfect for growing forlands. They've warned the Fair Conning that the locals were not friendly to the outsiders, but the Fair Conning, seeing this as an opportunity to extend his empire and secure trade with other continents, sent more explorers. Over the next 20 years, the area would become the Drywood. It was investigated, mapped, and colonized. In 2623, the first permanent Adirian colony settlements were established. Wallace fields were set up north of the forest in the Drywood, but began the conflicts with the Glenfithans and the War of the Broken Stone. It floundered. It wasn't until 2643 the appointed opportunity presented itself again. Some Athosian pilgrims wanting to escape persecution established colonies and lawless farming operations in the territories of the Red Settlers. With Granvalia on the verge of collapse, the Ferenc Konig wanted to assure his hold on the purple dye trade would be established. He encouraged the settlement, and even paid to have pilgrims set up in the New World. Because the Ferenc Konig was trying to secure his name in the purple dye trade, he was unable to properly respond to Edmund Hadrid when he issued his ultimatum to avoid a rebellion and leave himself time to oversee the Vorlas farm and Redcutus. The Ferenc Konig relented and made Edmund a Gref Palatine. In return for his concession, Anna spent time and resources on Drywood's trade and shipping routes, benefiting the Konig and the increased income. For 7 years, Drywood provided Idir with a steady income, leaving the Fair Konig time to ensure his trade system in Red Saras was strong. With Fair Konig's attention elsewhere, Edmund instituted the 10 Years Treaties, ending slavery in Drywood and permanently removing one of the revenue sources provided by Drywoodian explorers. Airfreights from the ruins scattered throughout Drywood. At this point, the Fair Konig word meant almost nothing to the citizens of Drywood. Edmund had replaced him as their true leader. In order to undermine Edmund's standing, the Fair Konig found allies willing to explore the ruins against the treaty condition and plundered them. Soon, Idir again had a supply of artifacts to sell. When his agents were eventually caught, the Fair Konig distanced himself from the operation, ensuring there was no way to link him to proceedings. But the Gref, using the means provided to him by his Glenfithin eyes, discovered the evidence needed to prove the Fair Konig was behind the plunderers. The conflict that arose from the revelation led to Edmund declaring independence from Drywood in 2668 AI. After a bloody 4-year-long war that resulted in the death of Edmund, the Fair Konig relented. Trying to keep control of Drywood had become too costly. He signed treaties. The new Duke of Drywood, turning his attention to Red Cities, redoubling efforts on the Voros trade, which is still a running thing. Steel Growth Report. We found this book on a public bench. After carefully study, our scribe confirmed the handwriting matches the signature scrolls. Found on scrolls of 10 and Categor. Be advised, the 10 is in the living lands. As a member of the Circle of Archmagi, his license go where he pleases. We'll observe him at a distance, but no one is to engage him. Tane is either a harmless fool or one of the most dangerous people alive. We can't take that chance. Tane's diary. Dear diary. Here I am in the living lands. This island might be the safest vacation spot, but it's certainly the most colorful. It's the most flavorful according to these mushrooms. And mushrooms seldom lie. Before I forget, I promised Beckarma I'd bring back a souvenir. There's rumor of a fallen star and emerald stare. Could be a nice addition to her collection. The message is scribbled on inside. If found, please return to Tane, the Archmage, author of Tane's Categor. Okay. We've read all the books.
Envoy, is it really you?
It's I know the blight sung on the stern hole is caused concern by my strong discourage with trade deal with involves additional crops or fear of my Savano. We cannot endorse lesser trade of animancy, much less welcome it in our district table. Okay. Yes, it is me.
I can't believe you're alive. When they dragged you to Liviana's clinic, I assumed the worst. How do you feel?
How do I feel? Disoriented, lightheaded, my pulse is racing. Well, I have to consider chartering a boat back to Adir. No, Constitution.
And yet you rallied your spirits and reported for duty. Your dedication is admirable. But we'll return to the topic of your untimely demise shortly. Our first order of business is your purpose here in the Living Lands. You said you had a missive for me from the Emperor?
Give the Emperor's message here. You are ambassador.
Very good. I'm eager to see what our Emperor intends. Now, His Majesty names you a loyal servant of the Adiran Empire, and an extension of the throne's authority. Thank goodness. At least someone understands the gravity of our situation.
His Majesty concerned the Crown's efforts in Living Lands could be jeopardized by the Dreamscape.
With that, I have better news for him. You've seen how wild the Living Lands has become, both in nature and in politics. Sometimes I think the island has a mind of its own. No sooner had you arrived than you found yourself at the center of our troubles.
I was fun there on my guts.
Trust me, we'll get to that. This embassy has no shortage of political foes, but the dream scourge is what keeps me up at night. You've seen firsthand what it can do in nature. We can't let it reach the cities.
Then we'd better get to work.
Thank you, Envoy. The island is in capable hands. Inquisitor Ludwig thinks the plague is a distraction. She's more concerned about these local rebels fighting against the Empire.
And you're not.
At least rebels know the meaning of negotiation and compromise. Not a plague. A plague kills indiscriminately. Though, even I must admit, the rebels have gone too far. They've sabotaged our work, killed our soldiers, and the final straw, attacked you out in the open.
Why go after me? I just got here.
All the more reason to strike first, or so the thinking goes.
Whatever their reason, we have to retaliate for the good of the Empire. I won't lie to you, Envoy. Our position is tenuous. We can't even defend ourselves. How are we to defend the Living Lands? But defend it we must, for the sake of everyone who calls this island home. Inquisitor Ludwig demands that someone hang for the attempt on your life. These Paradisian rebels must face justice. Ludwig goes where she likes, haunting the Living Lands like a vengeful spirit. She'll reappear when she chooses, and not a moment sooner. Let's make sure to give her some good news for a change.
Not many get a chance to solve their own murder, you know. I know someone who could help. A dwarven tracker named Marius. Kith or beast, there's little he can't find. He's staying at the Grinning Ballarrock, not far from Liviana's infirmary. We just take the main road east to the market, then head down the stairs and cross the canal. Rough part of town, even by the standards of Paradise. Marius is from the Tusks, about the harshest and remotest place the gods ever created, even by the standards of the Living Lands.
Trickery, lies. The gods did not build this place.
Let's just say no one survives out there without picking up a few skills, the kind we'll need if we're going to find hidden assassins. Especially if they're from the streets of Paradise.
I suggest you recruit as many allies as you can, but choose carefully. They, like you, will represent the Empire. But before we can send you off to parts unknown, we need assurances from the local healer that you're fully recovered. After all, you survived a brush with death. The health of your body is one thing. The health of your soul is another.
Yeah, it's just that I visit a watcher.
An unusual course of treatment, but who am I to argue? Remember, the assassin is out there. You have the element of surprise. I suggest you use it.
I always do.
Oh, I wish I could see the killer's face when they realize the hunter has become the hunted. We'll talk more of the Dream Scourge when you return. Until then, Envoy.
How about we start with Marius at the Grinning Balrog? Besides, I could use a drink after all this.
There's another little book here. Alright, Inquisitor, I've been in on staff long enough to confirm the worst wishes of the people of Fjord, massive and cannot the laws and models of the gods, and I'm not seeing folk men who got petted in defiance of whatever their crimes at Nubel. The way of life is intolerable. All is not lost politically are unstable to focus on themselves. To notice us, eager hands tightening the rope. Who at your orders, your friend in the forest. Alright. So, another book, Adirian Dialects. Sun does not set on Adirian language. Those of us who commune with the proud language are popular every corner of Yara. Most of us who speak this wonderful tongue, and it's Adirian, but scholars and those obsessed with correctness often qualify it as a modern and contemporary Adirian. This is not to contrast the language you and I speak today with Eld Adirian, the old Elven language that was spoken in the Adirian Empire back before the pioneers settled so the drywood built their longships. If Eld Adirian could be considered the mother of the living Adirian, the language he'll speak could be considered the United Adirian's cousin. He'll speak is fading to become used, but many of the elders, especially the older ones, in the Adirian Highlands still use this dialect. Whether you know it or not, if you can read these words, you can understand he'll speak. It's mostly identical to Adirian, but includes a large vocabulary of archaic words that have fallen out of use in today's Adirian. When you hear bards singing old Adirian poems, there are often lines of the chorus that sound like melodic nonsense asserted to complete rhymes. These are usually instances of words that are lost from our common language but still used in Hill speak. While speak is familiar to speakers in so-called modern era, the same cannot be said of our language predecessors. Eldadarian is a dead language, spoken by academics but not used in any major community. Eldadarian words are often familiar to Adarian readers, but the words use orthography that has since been abandoned. Familiar accent marks abound. For example, Eldadarian contains some diphthongs that have no place in modern Adirian, as well as future consonant clusters. Yay! Oh yeah, we're not going through this whole thing there. No. Alrighty. Let's see. Find the Watcher. Find Marius. Marius down at the bar. That way. Place to board it up. I cannot go that way. What's up there? I'll check later. We are not getting a whole lot done. Like, what we did get. Skill point. Abilities. Fighter. What do we got in the fighter tree? Passive, decreased stamina for medium heavy armor. Let's see. It's active, passive. That might be good. Let's go back to Ranger. Could be good. We could go one into the wizard tree to get the light and medium armor thing. That might be a good idea. I don't know. For now, I'm gonna get this. But that could be good too. Yeah, I want that. Master. We have 1 point available. Alrighty. Maximum health is always nice. Maximum stamina would also be nice. I wish I knew how many points you get, you know, what's a good way to build. I'm going to give myself a little more constitution. Alrighty.
Yeah, so close. But that's the point. It's useless without the data.
So, you're the one they all crow about, eh? Best hunter and guide in all of Donshore? Ha! The mighty Marius, deep in his cups, ready to take on the deadliest prey, providing they're asleep at the time.
Right. Take another sip of Makul. Rude not to finish a drink someone bought for you.
No wonder you're hiding behind a mug. You're too worried about being polite to survive out there.
The dwarf there is Marius. Best tracker I know.
Interesting. Let's see how this plays out.
I heard you're from Solace Keep. How great a survivor could you be? Hiding behind stone walls all your life.
You don't know anything about me, you Adira Nimdut. So maybe go back and take another blessed day sip.
But here you are. Tell me, how does one get kicked out of a place that never lets anyone leave?
Duktetrago Sakasapt Jitule. You want to talk so much, I'll cut you a second mouth across your throat.
Marius can handle himself. Of course, if you're bored, we could always start something anyway. I think this is about to get interesting.
I knew you were blessed in Nimdut the moment I saw you coming. Thought maybe I'd teach you a lesson. So I paid the bartender a few gold to drop a tiny bit of Widow's Kiss into a cup and serve your drink in it. Cramps should be starting in a few minutes, so, if you want to fight, we should go ahead and get started.
This is powerful, but it's only deadly if it's injected.
You know your stuff, but I doubt they do.
Envoy, you see? Will you stand by and allow this maniac to poison a fellow subject of the Emperor?
You'll survive as long as you're unaware now.
Oh, I can feel it. Gods, you.
Oh, that is quick. You better get to a healer before the poison spreads to your brain.
You wait, Marius. I'll be back. Hopefully.
We can actually leave. Nice.
Well, that was something.
Marius, this is the infamous Adiran envoy. Envoy? Marius.
Well, any friend of Kai's is definitely a person.
What just happened? What is only harmful if it's injected?
You know your poisons. It was a test. That guy's such a Nimdut, he thought he was doomed. And he actually believed I could pay the bartender to poison someone's drink. Gods, the taverns in Adir must be rough.
I might just use Hangman's Tree next time.
Smart. The effects are more widely known. Let their imagination run wild on them. Noted. If I'm not mistaken, you're looking for someone to help find the people who killed you.
Exactly. You know how we can find them.
I need to see the scene of the crime, over by the town gates. I promise there's something left that we can use to track them.
What should we would be looking at?
Bloodstains, footprints, darts left behind. If we find anything at all, we can find your assassins. We'll figure this out at Makul. Don't you worry.
New companion, known as the best hunter in the wilderness guide in living lands. Marius lives all in the living lands, but there's no place he truly calls home. Okay, and survival techniques. Okay, he does the same thing I do. Alrighty. So, we need to investigate the scene of the crime. Companions. Marius, does he have skill points? Oh, he's got two.
You saved my life. He would have killed me, and all for a few coins.
Think nothing of it. Any law-abiding citizen would have done the same.
Paradise is getting more dangerous by the hour.
They just let me loot the corpse.
This may not be the prettiest part of town, but it's got the grinning Battle Rock.
Interesting. Came from here. There's no back door, no way out of here. No. Ah. More loot. More loots. Alright. Taken to the scene of the crime and probably ended there. We're really done much here. We both want to talk to them in camp somewhere.
Envoy, got a situation over here. Oh, good. You came over. Glad to see you're up and about.
For fuck's sake, can we move this along? I don't have all day.
Same thing we deal with every day. Most of us are off searching for the ones who attacked you. That leaves us short-handed, so people like her try to sneak in. I caught this one, but I have to check her cart for contraband. There's a lot to dig through.
I can understand. Grenades.
Find anything? I knew you were hiding something. You'd better have an ironclad explanation for this.
I don't know anything. Someone's trying to set me up.
Thanks for the help, Envoy. I think I can handle it from here.
A couple grenades. Alrighty,
One moment.
Right here. This is where the envoy fell.
If it were me, I'd take the shot from up there above the embassy. Let's see if we can get up there.
alrighty. Well, 37 minutes. I think we'll do that next time. I got a good spot to stop here. You know, we're looking on to where we got shot from, and you know, we ain't dead. We got a new companion. Got some quest stuff done. I'm having fun with this. I'm gonna play a bit more of it. I hope you guys want to see more of it. If there's other games on Game Pass or PHPM, games are free to play, games on sale you're interested in, you can write that down in the comments. I'll try to get to them as soon as possible. And see you guys all next time.